to guide state authorities, our state agencies, and to ultimately empower. Let me repeat again. I want to be here to.
Moment it happened.
Med Flight 8 Patterson Tower, use extreme caution for heavy UAS movement on the base. Security forces is handling the situation, and I gotta keep the lights down so that security forces can see.
Ohio, now the latest of several states to report drone concerns as scrutiny over the federal response is building. This morning, lawmakers are demanding government officials do more and explain more after weeks of suspicious sightings.
I've had briefings, as I've said, that makes me feel confident based on those briefings that there's not an imminent threat to public safety, but it doesn't answer the question, where are all these drones coming from that people are seeing, and why aren't we doing a better job of tracking them and understanding that? It can't be the Wild West of drones out there in Jersey or anywhere else. We got to get to the bottom of this, and people deserve answers.
And ahead will.
Hey, what's up, guys? It's me, the spiritual philanthropist. I am Ralph Shiva. Listen, I've been doing these videos now for a while, also been talking about UFOs for quite a long time, and just like many other people out there, but with all the news that we're hearing now, and before, you have to realize that just recently on the news, they came on and said that these things were not a threat, and they're not flying over military targets. Now CNN is saying that they are flying over military targets. They went completely, they did a complete 180. Okay, they turned from one side and then turned completely around to the other side, and that's kind of strange, man. That the United States government, the main media source, CNN, for all the anything dealing with government and politics, international or national news, and they're here giving us a runaround, basically telling us first that they're not threatening. They're manned drones that are being run locally, to now that so many different places now are saying that that's not true, that no one knows. They even had some engineers that were the creators of, they sell to the military for the military drones, and those guys said that they're not familiar with the engineering involved with these things because the power source is so much longer than the average military drone that they have. I'm assuming that a military drone would be the highest grade of drone that you can get. So if these guys, these engineers, are saying that they're impressed with the technology, and now we're finding out that they're going over. Wright-Patterson is one of the main military bases that we have here in the East Coast, or in this area. If they can get in there, and the only reason that they'd be shutting the base down is that means they were infiltrated, without anyone knowing that they got onto the base. Now this, in my eyes, this is kind of scary because a lot of people aren't paying attention to it. But if you were to be playing a strategy game, or like a game of chess or something, anything along like strategy, and when you place your pawns or your pieces in the right positions that you can attack, there's definitely a time to panic at that point. Now we're talking about a real-time situation here. We're talking about that these things are actually positioned now around the world, not just here in the United States or New Jersey. They're positioning themselves around the world. So that gives a lot of concern, because if they're able to outmaneuver our aircraft, which has been proven already, and they just disappear whenever they want, that should tell you something. Just the fact that they're actually able to go off radar whenever they want. That's like on Star Trek or Star Wars when they go into cloaking and they can cloak themselves, So that's something that you have to look at. Sorry about that. That's Alexa. Alexa, stop. Sorry about that, guys. She just doesn't know when to shut up. It's weird. But Alexa, stop. Again, I'm being attacked by Alexa right now, guys. If anybody hears this, she's trying to prevent me from giving you guys the news. Look, I have a sense of humor about this, but who knows? But if you have a like any kind of strategy and you're strategy minded, if you're a military strategist, you'll know that they're positioning themselves in place, and they're getting to be able to get into those positions is impressive, because the kind of security that goes into safeguarding the skies of these bases is phenomenal. You're talking about satellites, you're talking about ground radar, you're talking about a grid set up across this area, that's probably, the entire, from the ground to the sky is covered. And these things were able to penetrate that without being found out. So this is some real high-tech stuff going on. If it's happening around the world, let's say they're going to all the military bases around the world, I do believe that this may be a much higher, more advanced type of being, or that are in control, because they have to be controlled by something. There must be a higher intelligence involved somehow, and it leads me to believe that we are in trouble. And a lot of the times you'll hear on the news, they keep saying that these things are coming off the ocean. To travel on the ocean, a drone traveling across the ocean, how much energy it would have to take to go, across an ocean. So this is something to be worried about, guys. I don't mean to panic you or anything, but when the government says not to panic, I usually panic. That's just me, because something else is going on. But let's take a look.
Speak to more lawmakers who are concerned. CNN's Sunlen Sarfati is in Washington. Sunlen, what more is the administration planning to do? There are a lot of concerns that have turned to frustration and anger, frankly.
That's absolutely right, Sarah. Concern is growing and pressure certainly is increasing on the administration to be more transparent and clear in how they're handling this and distribute the information that they know. This incident at the Air Force Base over the weekend at Wright-Patterson, right outside Dayton, Ohio, really increasing the alarm. The fact that that airspace was closed for 4 hours. This is, as you noted, a very critical airspace. Air Force Center hosts the Air Force Research Lab, the National Air and Space Intelligence Center. So certainly concerning that a drone would be flying in that airspace overhead. And it comes as these drone sightings are only increasing, now extending beyond New York and New Jersey, but other places, especially in the Northeast. So that only increasing the alarm here. And we have seen a recalibration of sorts from the administration over the weekend, really leaning into this message that they are on it, despite, as you noted, some frustration from lawmakers demanding more answers. But we heard from the Secretary of Homeland Security over the weekend saying that he is not aware of any direct national security concerns and trying again to tell the public that the administration is on it. Here's what the Secretary had to say.
There's no question that people are seeing drones, and I want to assure the American public that we in the federal government have deployed additional resources, personnel, technology to assist the New Jersey State Police in addressing the drone sightings.
Okay, what puzzles me is that this is a serious thing. Like I told you, if you look at it from a strategy point of view, they're infiltrating our radars. They're basically penetrating it without getting noticed until they get over the actual sites and areas that they're not supposed to. Let's say if they wanted to attack and they had, let's say they were carrying a dangerous weaponized payload, or of any sort, they could have destroyed the biggest air base in the United States. If that's not a time to worry or a time for concern, I don't know what is, man. Because you remember, that's like going straight to our defenses. It's like going straight to your white blood cells and destroying your white blood cells, leaving you susceptible to any kind of to anything that can harm you. But guys, I'll be back on again, and I'll do another video very soon. Hello.
Hi there. Good morning. This is Robin with